Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals, IGP Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional, IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badham Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. IGP is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we already serve 3 million knowledge seekers from 100 countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional IGP is the training facility for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demands in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to students, job seekers, job holders, and also for learners through respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institution. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all concerned of the world for free webinars, seminars, courses, awards, quiz competition, mentoring, and consulting, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to serve more than 100 premium services For free like Create, Own Portfolio website, Resume Builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and World Knowledge Platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids Learning Games website, free courses, convert sites, and many, many more. We help to empower youth to learn to meet their expectations and dreams and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learners by professional trainers, speakers, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. To ensure excellent and in-depth instruction, we arrange with qualified trainer, speaker, and instructor. We extended free services to more than 3 million knowledge seekers in the last 3 years. We have affiliations with universities and organizations in 70 different countries. Virtual MOA signing with many college and organizations have been accomplished. We are working to create a legendary generation of future scholars and citizens who will be accountable. We are constantly prepared to assist all knowledge seekers with valuable service. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learners we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individual who seeks information can improve their skill levels and value. Before we move to the next, let me reminder don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me reminder don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1130 webinar successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1130 webinars successfully. Wow. At present, we are going to start our 1131 program named Intervention Strategy for Students, which name Life Skill Education and Impact on Children. And our speaker is AMB Dr. Izima Izhar Nandi. Before I hand over the stage to ma'am, want to share a little bit about our speaker. She is the Education Consultant Country Advisor Nigeria, Global Educators from India, Lagos, Lagos Executive Director CEO, Mummy and I Magazine, Mummy and I Media Nigeria, multi-award winning digital media entrepreneur publisher. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm great.
Ma'am, on behalf of IGP Knowledge Seeker, want to hear from you. About your segment.
Okay, thank you so much for that overwhelming introduction. To the participants all over the world, it's my pleasure to be here and be part of the Institute of Global Professionals. I hope that all the participants will learn something new today. And the objective of today's webinar, there are two things I would love the participants to take home at the end of this webinar. The first is to know the meaning and importance of life skills. And the second is to know the practical ways of life skills education to children. My name is Ambassador Dr. Ijoma Esther Namdi, an educational consultant from Nigeria. I work with several international organizations as an ambassador, and I'm the CEO of Mommy and I Media. So I would love to share my slides at this time. Can you go ahead to share my screen?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now the stage is your, ma'am. You can start your presentation.
Okay. Go over to the next slide. The next one. Okay, today we are discussing life skills education and impact on children. And I would love to discuss this topic under four subheadings. The first is laying foundation. The second is the purpose of life skills. The third is the significance of life skills. And the fourth is types of life skills. This will form the basis of our teaching today. Over to the next slide. The first one, laying the foundation. Next. Okay, equipping your child with life skills, habits, and tools needed to lead a happy and healthy life is a top priority for parents. True, kids need to know how to solve math problems, read complicated tests, and write academic papers in order to be successful in the classroom. But they also need to possess vital life skills that carry them through their everyday lives and tasks. The classroom will not teach you everything. So it gets to a point where your child leaves home to mingle with other children, travel far from home, and these life skills are the skills that prepare them for the real world. So it's very important for not just teachers, educationists, but for parents to have a hands-on these life skills. Every parent should know what this life skill is all about and start teaching their children right from home, because this is what will carry them through their everyday lives and tasks from childhood through adulthood. The next slide, please. Next. Beginning around age 3, kids learn the skills and habits necessary to live a happy, fulfilling, and productive life. Your goal as a parent is to teach and foster the skills in a caring and loving way. Understanding when and how to teach your kids these essential life skills is something most parents struggle with. Next slide, please. What are life skills? Life skills are defined as the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with the demand and challenges of everyday lives. This skills is what helps in your relationship with people. It's what helps in your day-to-day activities. Despite your reaching your activities as a person, if you don't understand what life skills is all about and the practical ways to use it in your relationship with people, you will have so many challenges relating with people. But when you master these life skills, when you teach your children these life skills, it helps their day-to-day interaction with other children. It helps their day-to-day interaction with their teachers. It helps them in every aspect of their lives. So this is one of the skills that helps you to adapt to situations and encourage positive behavior at all times. Next slide. We are looking at purpose of life skills. Next. The purpose of life skills. There are so many purposes of life skills. The first is to remove stage fear. When you teach children life skills, when they understand themselves, when they are self-aware, they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, it helps them to be bold. It helps them to be outspoken. It helps them to stand out for themselves at all times. And this removes stage fear because people are afraid when they don't understand themselves. People are afraid when they are timid. People are afraid when they have low self-esteem. But with a good knowledge of life skills, you find out that a child is bold, a child is outspoken, a child knows how to defend his or herself at all times. The second purpose of life skill is it helps a child to be self-confident. Self-confidence is very important. You and I can agree that you cannot become anything meaningful in life without confidence. You need to be confident in yourself. What does that mean? You need to believe in your abilities. You need to understand that, yes, I am not perfect. I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses, but I will measure on my strengths and minor on my weaknesses. I will ensure that I use my strengths to be productive. I will ensure that I'm functional and I achieve my dreams by making use of my strengths. And for the weaknesses, we all have weaknesses. So you don't need to feel bad that you have certain weaknesses because we all are a work on progress. When a child understands their strengths and weaknesses, it helps the child to work on those weaknesses consciously, knowing that change is a gradual process. Change takes time. It's not something that happens at a spot. And when a child understands their strengths, they perform better. They harness those strengths, those natural abilities for their good. It gives them a comparative advantage over other people. So one of the purposes of life school is it helps you to become self-confident. It also helps a child to listen, speak, and understand English language. It helps a child to develop social skills. Social skills are those skills that helps you relate better with people. You know, um, as a human, it's not good for you to live in isolation. Your child is not going to live in isolation. Your child will mingle with other people. Your child will relate with other people. Your child will not be homeschooled forever. A time shall come when your child will go out there to relate with other children from different backgrounds. So when they have a good, well-developed social skills, it helps their interaction with other children. Life skills also helps children to learn good etiquette. Good etiquette is one of the welcoming things every child should know how to do. When you are in public, how do you coordinate yourself? How do you compose yourself? How do you use your cutleries in public? How do you relate? How do you talk? What's your mannerism out there? These are the things children need to learn right from childhood. It also helps them to develop great work ethics. We all know that if you don't have good work ethics, you won't last in any organization. No organization wants to have a staff with poor work ethics. So if you can teach your child how to develop great work ethics, teach them integrity, teach them honesty, teach them what it means to be disciplined, teach them emotional intelligence, teach them how to, have self-control, how to handle anger. This will help them when they eventually get to that age of working in an organization. It also helps in development of interpersonal skills. And when you teach a child life skills, it helps them to learn survival skills. We all know life is survival of the fittest. It's a jungle out there. So if a child doesn't know how to adapt to new situations, if a child doesn't know the survival skills, you find out that the child will have difficulty surviving in the real world. But if a child understands these things right from childhood through adulthood, it helps the child to cope with every situation he or she finds himself. For instance, you have people migrating to other countries, you have people relocating to other countries, and after a few months, they integrate, they blend. Because of what? They've already learned survival skills. So these are the purposes of life skills. And I believe every parent, teacher, tutor, educationist should teach a child these things right from childhood. The next slide, please. We are looking at significance of life skills. The next slide. The significance of life skills. One of the significance of life skills is explore alternatives. Life skills helps a child to be able to explore alternatives and become highly resourceful. Being resourceful is the ability of a person to work out a solution to a problem. A lot of people dwell on problems, forgetting that dwelling on a problem for a long time doesn't provide any solution. So when you groom your child to explore alternatives, if plan A is not working, how about trying plan B? How about trying plan C? It helps them to be resourceful wherever they find themselves. It also helps your child to learn refusal skills. Teaching your child how to say no at the right time, or say I'll think about it when they aren't sure about the decision, helps them a lot. Refusal skills is very important. It's not everything that requires a yes. When you are not sure of a particular option, when you're not sure of a particular alternative, you have the right to say no. And you also have the right to say, wait, let me think about it. You also have the right to say, can you give me some time? Let me brainstorm and brood over this. Let me sleep over it before arriving at a decision. When you teach your child the importance of refusal skills, it helps the child to know boundaries. It helps the child to know when to say no and not feel guilty about it. We have a lot of adults who say no to issues, to opinions, and they are gripped by guilt because they feel saying no is bad. No, saying no is not a bad thing. You have every right to say no when you're not comfortable with a particular suggestion. And you have every right as a human being to think about a suggestion before you decide on what actually to do. So this is what you need to teach your children right from childhood. You also need to help them to know that one of the significance of life skills is decision making. Our successes in life is a series of right decisions. When you equip your child by teaching them how to make rational decisions per time, it sets them in the right direction. The next is effective communication. Effective communication and assertiveness are important life skills that will help a child become wholesome in every area of their lives. This is very important. You can see from the chart that each of the significance has 25%. Explore has 25%. Refusal skills have 25%. Decision making has 25%. And effective communication have 25%, which means a combination of this helps to raise a wholesome child who later becomes a wholesome adult. 100% wholesome, fulfilled, satisfied in their God-given talents and natural abilities, in who they are and in whom they are called to be. So when an adult is wholesome, when a child has all these attributes, you find out that the child is a better adult. The child becomes a better person in the society, a better sibling, a better friend, and always have humanity at heart. Can we go over to the next slide? Two key life skills. There are two key life skills. We have the thinking skills, we have the social skills, and combination of both skills. These are very important. The next slide, please. Here are seven skills your child must have to succeed in the 21st century. We all know we have the millennials, we have the Gen Zs, and we have the Gen Alphas. This 21st century is unique, and these are the skills that you need to teach your child. If your child don't know any of the skills, I kid you not, in the next few years, the child will find it difficult to blend. The child will find it difficult to integrate his or herself in the society. The first skill is global awareness. Your child needs to know what is happening in the world. You need to allow your child to listen to news. You need to allow your child to read current affairs. You need to allow your child to know what is happening in the society. The next is problem-solving ability. Teach your child how to solve problems. It's not every problem that you need to provide solution to your child. You know, one thing I do as a mom is when my children tell me, Mama, I'm finding this very difficult, I try to help them to come up with solutions. That way, I am building their problem-solving ability. The next is the ability to read and understand. The ability to read and understand can never be overemphasized. It is very important, and it is something that every child should learn. The ability to collaborate with others. No man is an island. No man is a compendium of knowledge. We all need each other. We not all need one another. You need to help your child understand that they need to relate with people. They need to be positive. They need to exude positive vibes. They need to learn teamwork, because these are the skills that are very important in 21st century. Your child needs to have research skills. Let's say they were given an assignment in school. Instead of helping them with the homework straight away, you can guide them towards providing the answers themselves. Let them make research with your guidance. It will help to build the skills. The next is media literacy. Very important. Your children should know how to use the media gadgets, because that is the world we live in. The world has become a global village. You can imagine running programs from different, bringing up speakers from different parts of the world. The world is now small. Everybody can access whatsoever they want to access from their mobiles. So you need to teach your child media literacy and also guide them on the use of media. You need to help them develop interpersonal skills, how to relate with other people, how to relate with other children. Next. Ten core life skills for children. 10 core life skills for children. This is getting interesting. Self-awareness is key. That is the number one. Every child should be self-aware. Effective communication, managing emotions, problem solving, critical thinking, interpersonal relationships, creative thinking, empathy, decision making, coping with stress. Let's go to the next slide, please. Self-awareness. How will you help your child to develop self-awareness? First of all, you need to teach your child about their strengths and challenges. Be open about this. Let your child know what they are good at. Let your child know where their strengths are. Let your child know what they do so well. Have a daily emotion checking. Practice mindfulness. You need to practice mindfulness. You need to be mindful of what you say to your child. You need to be mindful of how your child is feeling part-time. These are very important. You need to encourage a growth mindset. Encourage a growth mindset. Listen, every adult has one or two things that they have deep inside of them, the mindset they have deep inside of them right from childhood as a result of what they were told by their parents, what they were told by their siblings, what they were told by their friends. As a mother, as a parent, you need to encourage a growth mindset. Let your children know the need for them to grow. Let your children know the need for them to personally develop themselves. If you have a growth mindset as a parent, it will rub off on your children. If you are a confident parent, your children will be confident of themselves. If you have low self-esteem as a parent, it will definitely rub off on your children. So you have to be intentional and ensure that you encourage a growth mindset in your child. Encourage them to pursue growth. Encourage them to grow in every aspect of their life, not just academics. Encourage them to read books. Encourage them to involve in activities that will create a paradigm shift in their minds. Develop SMART goals together. Every month, develop SMART goals together with your children. Make compliment lists. Always tell your children where they are good at, what they did very well. Always ensure you emphasize on these things. Encourage self-reflection, explore interests and passion. Next slide. Practice gratitude, try new things together, give independent journaling time. This is very important. Next slide, please. The next skill is decision making. A decision is one when there are different things you can do and you pick one of them. You make lots of decision every day. Each day you sleep and wake, getting out of the bed is actually a decision. When you step out of the bed in the morning, it's a decision because you have the option of staying back on the bed. But no, you decided to, get up and prepare to go to work. So it's a decision. Every day we make decisions. Every day our activities daily are a litany of decisions, a list of decisions, list of steps. That's why success is defined as a series of right decisions. Next slide, please. Decision-making skills. Every day, life is an endless sequence of decisions. Decision-making is a thought process of selecting a logical choice from the available options. Rational decisions maximize our chances of happiness, successful living, and fulfillment. Next. The elements of a good decision. The elements of a good decision. How do you come up with a good decision? This will be a guide, and I want every parent, all the participants, to pay rapt attention at this point. The elements of a good decision. What can I do? That's creative alternatives. When you're faced with a challenge, when there is a challenge on ground, you need to ask yourself, what can I do about this challenge? You have to present creative alternatives. The next is you need to check your clear values. What do I want? Now, this is a challenge. You've asked yourself, what can I do to provide a solution to this challenge? You need to also ask yourself, what do I want? Does the alternatives, does it align with your values as a person? Because values are important. We are nothing without values. Everyone values one thing or the other. So you need to ask yourself, this particular alternative, does it align? This is what you should teach your child. When they are faced with a problem, they should ask themselves, what can I do? Then the next one is, what do I want? Which should align with their values. Then the next is, what am I really deciding? Now, let's say you have 3 different alternatives. You need to ask yourself, what am I really deciding? Because you are clear on your values, it will help you. It will form a helpful frame for you to know what you're really deciding. The next is useful information. Before you take a decision, you should have all the necessary information available at your disposal. You don't take a decision based on ignorance. It will backfire, definitely so. So you need to ask yourself, do I have the useful information on ground? This particular decision I want to take, do I have the right information that will help to guide me, that will help to direct me, that will help to make sure that I'm not putting myself into trouble? You have to have all the facts. You have to cross all the T's and dot your I's. You don't take a decision without having the necessary information at your disposal. That will be really disastrous. So you need to also ask yourself, am I thinking straight? Am I thinking straight? Because sometimes people take a decision based on desperation. And I kid you not, when you take a decision based on desperation, you won't take the right decision. You will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. So you need to take major life decisions when your head is clear, And if you're having difficulty in making these decisions, you are free to seek help. You are free to seek help. You are free to reach out to channels, people that can help you dissect, analyze, and cross-check your options before you arrive at a decision. This is very important, and that is why you have commitment to follow through. Commitment to follow through. By the time you've checked all the facts, you've crossed your T's and dot your I's, you've met the necessary people to guide and direct you, you need to be committed. You need to have that commitment to follow through. And imagine teaching a child the elements of a good decision right from childhood. Tell me how that child will grow to become a confused adult. Is impossible, because whatever you teach a child from the age of 1 to 5 years, it sticks to the memory of that child. The child remembers whatever he or she is being taught. So if every parent can make it a point of duty to teach children the elements of a good decision, it will help them in adulthood. It will help them to become better adults. It will help them to be assertive and firm. Because we have a lot of adults out there that can be tossed around like this chair, like this office chair. They can be easily tossed around. They don't know how to take a decision and stick to it. They are not firm. They are not assertive. And that is not the kind of child you and I want to raise. That is not the kind of child you want to raise as an educationist. So you need to ensure that you instill the elements of a good decision in your teachings, so these children can know what it means and what it takes to make the right decision per time. The next slide, please. 5 ways to improve children's decision-making skills. The first one is encourage young people to use decision-making steps. As children develop skills for reflecting on decisions, discuss the following steps and explain how they can be applied to everyday scenarios. What decisions needs to be made? You need to help your child to know what decisions need to be made. What are the options? Evaluate the options and pick the best. Act on your choice and see how it works. These are the steps you need to encourage your child when it comes to decision making. Next. Secondly, involve them in everyday decision. Include your children in your own decisions and ask them for advice. You could say, I'm trying to decide whether to take up rowing or do yoga classes to increase my level of fitness activity. Which one do you think I should do? I know as a mom, you already know what you want to do. You already know what you want to go for. But remember, you're trying to teach your children how to make good decisions or how to make the right decisions. So these are some of the practical steps I want to teach us, so you can apply it in your home and help your children. You already have what you want to do as the mom, but you're allowing them to work out the options, to evaluate the options, to evaluate the alternatives. That is one of the ways they learn. After you've done this, then go over the pros and cons of each suggestion so that your child can learn how to thoughtfully consider different options to then be able to make an informed decision. Children learn they watch whatever you do and they learn. So when you engage them, they are learning. Next. Give children the chance to practice making choices. Giving young people the opportunity to make their own decisions helps build a sense of independence and empowers them to make choices with integrity. It is important that the decision truly is their own, though, in order to empower them to make the right decision. Provide them with a few different options that will all be acceptable for you, no matter which one they choose. In this way, you're making them feel confident that they can make good decisions. By then, demonstrating interest in their choice, you show that the child's decision is important. Let me personalize this example. For instance, if I want to hang out with my children, maybe we want to hang out during weekends, what do? I want my son to wear maybe a black shoe. What do? I present two black shoes. One, his school shoe, the other one, his sneakers. I present it and I ask him, which one would you like to wear? Remember, I want him to wear a black shoe, but I'm not imposing what I want. Subtly, I'm presenting what I want, which is a black shoe, right? But I'm not imposing it on him because I'm giving him an alternative of either choosing his school shoes, which is black, or his sneakers, which is also black. That way, anyone he decides on is good by me because what I want to achieve is to see him wear a black shoe. So this is one of the ways you can help your child to practice making choices. You shouldn't always be the one as a parent to tell your child what to do. You already know the outcome, what you want to achieve. So go ahead to present the options, which are the same, similar, and allow them make a choice. Next. Number 4, encourage children to set goals. One vital skill that is oftentimes forgotten among children, but also adults, is goal setting. Being able to set smart goals and achieve them is a life skill, which when taught at an early age gives not only focus, but also creates self-awareness and confidence moving into adulthood. Something as simple as learning to play new sports or learning how to play a musical instrument can be good opportunity to teach goal setting to young people. This shows the importance of decision making in planning and execution, and it then also allows children to form learning pathways, not only in a physical sense, but socially and emotionally as well. Next. The fifth, ask questions which promote astute decisions. What do you like about that? What makes this the best option? How will this work? These are all examples of good questions you could be asking your children to spark thought-provoking conversations. Such questions allow young people to be mindful of their choices and aware that there will be some sort of reaction or consequence to it. By no means is this every tool that can teach good decision making. However, it is the perfect place to start. To teach good decision making skills is to empower our younger generation in making positive life choices regarding their social, emotional, physical well-being as they navigate the challenges of moving towards adulthood. Adulthood is a stage of life where there is little or no parental interference. The only time you have as a parent to do all you need to do is now that the children are still young. Once they are adults, it's difficult, very difficult to change an adult. One of the things I do, one of the things I do is youth mentorship because I believe mentoring the young mind, teenagers, young girls, young women, mentoring them is easy because they are younger. An adult already have a mindset. An adult already have a certain belief, things that they believe, and changing those beliefs is really difficult. But you can model a child, you can groom a teen to become a better adult, but it's difficult to change an adult. So if you can implement all these as a parent, it will help your child to become a wholesome adult. That is what every parent dreams of. That is what every parent wants to achieve because your success as a parent is the success of your children. The success of your children, it what shows that you succeeded in parenting them right. After all these years of grooming and nurturing our children, if they turn out not to be better than us, it means we didn't do a great job. So you have to be serious. You have to imbibe these life skills. You need to practice it. You need to make it your everyday lifestyle, not just in your life, but in the life of your kids as well. Next. Problem solving skill. Problems, if left unsolved, leads to mental and physical stress. Problem solving skills allows to solve an issue, problem, or conflict without anger, intimidation, insubordination, aggressive force, or behavior. Problem solving skill helps in devising a plan in order to solve problems. Problem solving skill is examining a related problem, creating adjustments to a situation. You know, I usually give this example whenever I'm having an international webinar. You know, I tell them, if you're in the corporate world, if you're working, and personally in my team, if I'm the team lead or the project supervisor or the manager, you don't come to me with a problem. You don't come tabling problems without solutions. It doesn't make sense. As you're tabling challenges, you should have a list of solutions you are profiling to those challenges. For instance, when a child, maybe your son is playing with his toys, or maybe your daughter is playing, and they come to you with a problem. Mama, Daddy, I don't know why this is not working. You don't just grab the toy from them and start looking for the solution. You need to ask them why. Why is it not working? What happened? The battery, when last did you change the battery? Did you check if the battery is well placed? Did you check if the battery is removed? Is it still intact? You need to tell them things to do, to profile solution before you eventually go to the next step, which is taking the toy from them to supervise and know what exactly is wrong with it. The problem we have is that we have a lot of parents that don't want their children to stress themselves. You are a parent, you don't want your children to stress themselves. You want to do everything for them. You have people, you have staff, you have people living with you. you want people to always be there to solve their problems. You are not helping that child. You are not helping the child to engage his or her thinking faculties. You're not helping the child to engage his or her brain. And it will surely affect your child when your child becomes an adult. So these problem solving skills are things that you need to start now to instill in your children by helping them to profile solutions to issues, challenges themselves. You don't need to do that for them. We all are doing life for the first time, and we don't know how long we have to stay here. At some point, you will definitely leave your children all by themselves. As I am, October last year, my father passed away. He was such an awesome dad. An amazing man. I couldn't believe it that he passed away. That was just October last year. So all the things he taught me, this is time for me to implement them because daddy is not there. So you need to prepare your children for this stage. You need to prepare them so they will know that whenever they encounter any life challenge, they have all it takes inside of them to fix it. They have a brain. They've acquired more education. So they need to go ahead and fix that problem because you have provided the necessary knowledge, the right education. You've armed them. You've given them the arsenal of weaponry to make them a better person. So you need to also give them that chance to exercise these tools that you've given them. Because if you keep on solving all their problems for them, you are not helping them in any way. Next slide. Critical thinking skills. This refers to the ability to analyze information and experiences in an objective manner. It helps adolescents recognize and assess the factors influencing attitude and behavior. Next. Next. 8 ways parents can support critical thinking at home. 8 ways you can help your child. 8 ways you can support critical thinking at home. The first is think critically as a habit. Whenever an issue is presented, think critically. Personally, I'm someone that I'm always thinking at every point in time. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking. It's funny, but that's just it. So you need to help your children to learn how to think critically. When they present issues to you, guide them. Guide them, help them to make critical thinking a habit. Debate everything. Debate everything. On Facebook, I shared a video of a brief interaction I had with my son. That was on Saturday. That is how I engage their minds. For instance, if my son says, let's say he said, "Mommy, I want to eat rice." I'll ask him why. Why do you want to eat rice? Not that I can't go ahead and cook rice, but I'm asking him why he wants to eat rice. And you know the funniest thing? Sometimes he will tell me, "Mommy, I want to eat rice because I ate golden morn earlier, or because we ate beans in the morning. So I want to eat rice so that we can eat something else." He's quite a young boy, but I'm beginning to engage his mind to let him know that there is always a reason for doing everything. That is one of the ways you can support critical thinking in your home. Debate everything. Even when you know the answer as a mom, even when you know that this is the right answer, sometimes go ahead and play devil's advocate. Go ahead and say, okay, this one is the right thing. In your mind, you know that's not the right thing, but you're engaging the mind of your children to know what they will say, to know how they will react. This is one of the ways to support critical thinking. Provide access to diverse quality reading materials. Practice claim evidence reasoning. Help them learn from everything. Make critical thinking a game. Teach critical thinking as a mindset and explore the benefits of critical thinking. These are the 8 ways you can support critical thinking at home. Next, coping with emotions and stress. This has to do with recognizing effects of emotions on others and ourselves, being aware of how emotions influence behaviors, being able to respond to emotions appropriately, recognizing sources of stress in our lives, recognizing how these affect us, identifying ways that help the control of our levels of stress, and learning how to relax to minimize tension. Next. Empathy. 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 This is important. Empathy and connection are the foundations of parenting. Empathy is your parenting superpower. The more we can relate to our children, the deeper our connection can be, and the more positives we will see in our relationship. Children who have their emotional needs met are more likely to take direction and guidance. When our children are upset, whether over a broken toy or a broken heart or anything else, they need us there for support. No matter what, I want every parent, every educationist, every tutor, every caregiver. You mustn't be the biological parents of a child for you to call yourself a parent. So long as you are in that position to offer guidance, care, and direction to a child, you are the parent. And empathy is one of the skills you must have. It is your superpower. No matter the mistakes, no matter the pain, no matter whatsoever your child has done, maybe out of youthful exuberance, ignorance, or just, wild lifestyle, no matter what, your child needs you for support. You need to support. You need to speak encouraging words. You need to speak life into your child. You need to help that child understand who they are. You need to speak positive words at all times. You need to be there to encourage your child at all times. That is what parenting is all about. No matter the mistake, you don't write a child off because of a mistake. You don't write a child off because they slept. We all sleep at some point. We weren't always standing with our shoulders so high. Some of us have made different mistakes. Some people have done things that they weren't proud of. So if you as a parent made some mistakes, your child can also make some mistakes. And it is your duty to always be there to guide the child aright, to guide the child on the right path. Once you have empathy is putting the feelings of the other person, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, so as to feel their pain, so as to connect to what they are passing through. You can't impart into the life of your child positively if you are not an empathic parent. You need to have empathy. That is how you connect. That is how you connect. That is how you transform that child. That is how you bring out the best in that child. And every parent must have this superpower. If you don't have it, you still have time to develop it. You still have time to work on it because it is important. Your child needs you to be there. Your child needs your guidance. No matter how they claim they know everything, one thing about youthful exuberances, children always feel they know everything. Meanwhile, they don't know. They are still growing and they haven't seen different experiences in life. So you should always be ready to guide them. No matter how much they think they know, they need you for direction. Next. Okay, the acronym empathy, the E stands for everybody needs somebody. The M, model and mirror love to others. The P, put yourself in their shoes. The A, ask if you can help. The T, treat others the way you want to be treated. The H, thoughtful or helpful. The Y, you will feel better and they will thrill. Next. Five conversation starters to help develop empathy. Number one, did you have a chance to be kind to anyone today? When your children return from school, as their mom, as the caregiver, as the person in charge, like I said, you mustn't be the biological parent of a child to be a parent. So long as you are in that position to guide, so long as you are in that position to direct, to care for them, you are their parent. So you to engage them in conversations such as, did you have the chance to be kind to anyone today? Maybe in their class, was there any opportunity for them to be kind to anyone? What can you do or say to help someone who is feeling sad? My son has this habit. Whenever he sees me feeling sad, he comes to me and say, "Mommy, why is your face like this?" I will say nothing. He say, "Mommy, Daddy loves you. Namdi loves you." His name is Namdi Junior. He'll say the sister loves you, because that is what I tell him. Whenever I know, maybe whenever he comes to me and say, "Mommy, I'm not happy," probably because I yell once in a while, but he comes to me and say, "Mommy, I'm not happy." I'll tell him, "Okay, Mommy loves you, okay? Mommy loves you, Daddy loves you, your sister loves you, okay? Don't be sad, be happy." He will smile. That way, whenever he sees me squeezing my face, or not really in the mood, or not really in my chitty-chatty mood, he comes to me and say, "Mommy, what is wrong?" I said, "I'm fine, nothing." You say, "Okay, just know Daddy loves you, okay?" And once he says those words to me, Daddy loves you, my sister loves you, I love you, Namdi loves you, it just looks as though a heavy burden is off my shoulder. I feel so light whenever he says those things. And I watch him say those things to the father. I watch him say those things to the sister. And whenever I hear him say those things, I'm so proud of him, because I know if in class he happens to see another child crying, he will say those things to that child. Oh, why are you crying? Don't worry, your daddy loves you, your mommy loves you, your sister loves you. You know, it will be a form of encouragement to another child. So, your child, if you want your child to be empathic, if you want your children to be empathic, you need to start reinforcing it from your home. They cannot learn empathy in school. I kid you not. Empathy is your superpower as a parent. Your children cannot learn empathy in school. Empathy is not something you just learn at a snap of a finger. It's something they need to learn from home. It's something you need to teach them. That is the way to help them have humanity at heart. If you observe, we live in a society where a lot of people don't have humanity at heart. The world is becoming more cruel. So if we can be intentional about raising empathic children, it will help us have a generation that have humanity at heart. A generation that are ready to make everything, to do everything possible to make the world a better place. So you can go ahead to ask your child, how do you think other people feel when you are kind to them? Go ahead to ask, if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? These are some of the ways to start up conversations to help your child develop empathy. Next, interpersonal skills. To be able to develop and nurture supportive networks. That's one of the things interpersonal skills helps your child to do. To be able to end relationships constructively. To help adolescents relate with each other in more positive ways. Next, effective communication. Why are communication skills important? Communication skills helps you improve relationships. It helps you develop respect for people. It helps you develop empathy for others, allows us to function more effectively in social situations, helps us to succeed in life, in school, at work, wherever we find our place, ourselves. Next, creative thinking skills. Example of the skills: analytical mindset, problem solving, communication, open-mindedness, organization, experimentation, active listening, curiosity, lateral thinking, divergent thinking. These are the examples of creative thinking skills. And we all know that this is important. Active listening. Do you listen to your child? Some parents don't listen to their children. They don't even have the time to listen to their children. How do you communicate in your home? How do you communicate with your children? Do you communicate effectively? Remember, effective communication, there are channels. There are channels from the speaker to the recipient, and there has to be feedback. So when your children communicate to you, what feedback do you give to them? Are you an open-minded parent? Are you an open-minded parent? Do you welcome your children's suggestions? Do you welcome your children's opinion? Or are you the kind of my way or the highway parent? You know, some parents they are fond of doing this, either my way or the highway. No. It's not always like that. It's not always like that. You mustn't always be. There are times that you need to enforce your decision. Yes, I know, but you mustn't always be autocratic, because if it is always your way, your children will make a whole lot of mistakes. It mustn't always be your way. You know why? Because you don't know it all. As parents, we don't know it all. We are a work in the progress. We are still working towards becoming a better part of ourselves. We are still learning. We are still growing. So we don't have it all. And each generation has this elevated level of consciousness they operate on. They have this realm, this dimension. There are a lot of things 10 years from now, there are a lot of things our children will know that we may not know, because the world is changing, the world is evolving. A lot of things, a lot of modernization, a lot of things are happening. So if you always claim it is your way, at some point, your children will make mistakes. So you need to give them that ample opportunity for them to discuss with you, so that you can know what's on their mind. So you can also analyze their opinions. You can guide them and help them towards making better options. Okay, next. Summary: a strong mastery of these skills from infantry stage through adolescence will equip your child for the real world, where they can make logical decisions on their own because they are wholesome adults. Remember, when we talk about life skills education, this is what we want to achieve: wholesome adults who can make logical decisions wherever they find themselves. If you're afraid, if you're the kind of parent that is worried about your child, you are worried about your child mingling with other people, you are worried about your child being influenced, you're worried about your child, taking up maybe some negative character when they mingle with other children. One of the things you need to do for your children is to help them to learn these life skills. That will be your saving grace, because when they master these life skills from infantry stage, from children, when I talk about my son this month will make him 3. He's just 3 years old. I didn't say let me wait till he's 6 years old before I start teaching him those things. No, I started teaching them right from time. I've always been intentional about this, because I know one day I will not be there. One day they will be out there living their dreams. They will be out there influencing their world positively. They will be out there transforming lives. And I will be somewhere, also making my own impact. So all you need to do is to hand these skills over to them to help them become wholesome, better adults. Because if I'm committed, if I'm intentional about raising wonderful children who will become wholesome adults, and you as a parent also take the same decision, if we all as parents, caregivers, educationists, if we can come together and make it our decision and be intentional about raising wholesome adults, you find out that we will have a lot of wonderful, wholesome adults right there in the society, doing amazing things, impacting their world, and influencing lives positively. That is what we want to achieve. Next slide. Next. Thank you so much for watching. I remain Ambassador Dr. Ijoma Esther Namdi, CEO Mommy and I Media. You can also follow me on YouTube, Mommy and I Media. Thank you so much, Institute of Global Professionals, for inviting me today. And I hope the participants, you learned a lot and you're ready to answer the questions that follows. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our QA session, which is the more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to learn from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar
Thank you.
certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to learn from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After QA, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back also our participants. Ma'am, our first question is from Flami. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. Dr. Izuma. Why is it important for kids to develop refusal skill in their everyday life?
Okay, thank you for that question. Why is it important for kids to develop refusal skills in their everyday lives? Just the way we talked about other skills. Refusal skills prepares your child for the real world because it's not every circumstances that will favor the child. Like I said in the course of my presentation, your child needs to know boundaries. Your child needs to know boundaries. Even you as a parent, your child should be able to tell you a no when you're telling him or her to do a wrong thing. If you teach your child the right thing, and tomorrow, for one reason or the other, your child, you tell your child, this is what I want to do. And your child say, no, daddy, no, mommy, I don't think this is right. That is having good refusal skills. So refusal skills helps your child to know when to say no without feeling guilty about it. The problem we have in our society, especially in Africa, is a lot of parents raise their children to be timid. In Africa, you hear parents telling their children, when I tell you something, don't say no. And this has guilt tripped a lot of children. It has made a lot of children take negative decisions, take decisions that they are not proud of because their parents didn't give them that ample opportunity to say no when they need to say no. For instance, we hear cases of early marriage, children being given up in marriage at a very young age because of what they can't speak for themselves. And we also have some children who stood up and told their parents, no, I don't want to get married at this age. I want to be educated. So when you are giving your children this right refusal skills, I don't mean, I need to put this out here. I don't mean a child being rebellious. It's a different thing. Rebelliousness and refusal skills are two worlds apart. They are not the same thing. So I'm not saying you should groom your children to be rebels. No. But let your children have a mind of their own. Let me share an instance. When I wanted to apply for this thing, when I wanted to enter the university, my father wanted me to attend a particular school. And I didn't like that school. I wanted a federal university. I attended University of Nigeria. My father insisted he wanted this other university because it's in my state. He wants me to be close. I'm the only daughter. I'm the first child. So he wants to always see me. But I needed a school that would challenge me mentally. I needed a school that would widen my horizon. I needed a school where I'll be able to school with other international students. So while my dad is thinking security, safety, protection, I was thinking widening my horizon, enlightenment, international engagement. That was what I was thinking. And I said, no, 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 no. Daddy, that's not the kind of school I want to go. I want to attend a federal university. And I went ahead to apply, wrote the exams, and I gained entry into the university. Few years down the line, when my father came from there was a time he visited, he was telling me, oh, I love this school. Thank God you made a choice and you chose this school. I was taking him around the whole school, and he was so impressed. He was proud of me. Imagine if I didn't say no, Daddy. That's not what I want. What you're suggesting is good. I know you want me to be protected. I know you want me to be safe, but that's not what I want. And this is my reason. So it is very important for your children to have refusal skills so they can draw boundaries. They will say no when they need to say no, and they need to be assertive when they need to be assertive. I hope these few examples really clear the air and made you understand the context of this particular topic, refusal skills.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Our next question is from Jordan Joy. Good day, ma'am. Teaching is life skills benefit students.
Teaching life skills as an educationist, teaching life skills benefits the students just the way my presentation at this moment is benefiting a lot of our participants. When you teach these life skills to your students, it will definitely benefit them because a lot of students don't have enlightened parents. We all know that. Not every student is not opportune to have parents that know about life skills. So the school is supposed to be a bridge builder. The school, teachers, tutors, educationists, they are supposed to build that bridge. The place where the parents are deficient, the place where the parents, their level of knowledge can't help the child. When the child gains admission into a school, the child is supposed to learn the things they weren't able to learn in the home. So as teachers, we need to teach them these skills. There are ways you can do this. You can incorporate it in your teaching. While teaching them, you ask them questions. You engage their mind. You know, before, when I was teaching in the classroom many years ago, I do this a lot. Before I teach, I ask questions. This is the topic I want to discuss for today. What do you think about this topic? What do you think is the objective of this topic? What do you think? And you see the students giving you answers that you didn't even imagine because you are engaging their minds. So when you teach these life skills, it benefits your students because they may not have the opportunity to be taught this by their parents. A lot of students have parents who are traders. A lot of students have parents who did not even step into the four walls of a university, but they are in school. That's why the parents send them to school, for them to learn, for them to know what they were not opportune to learn. I just hope this answers your question, Jordan.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, our next question is from Kiwi. Ma'am, Dr. Izima, sir, is it true that lack of parental love and guidance leads to emotional and behavioral disorders?
Yes, lack of parental love and guidance can lead to emotional and behavioral disorder because we all need love. We all need love, 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 love. Every child needs love. Like I said, when we talk about parental love and guidance, you mustn't be the biological parent of a child to offer this. If you are in the life of a child, as a parent, as a tutor, as a guardian, as a caregiver, you are in that position to be called a parent. And you should offer genuine love to a child. We all need love. We all need love. Every child needs love. And when a child grows in the streets, There are children that grew up in the street. They don't know anything about parental love. They don't even know anything about love. Like, they grew up having the jungle mentality, survival of the fittest. They do everything to survive. And you know that years later, it affects them. As adults, you find out that they don't have empathy. They are cruel because they didn't experience love as a child. But what I always tell people, even on my Facebook page, I always tell people that no matter what you pass through, no matter the kind of love you were denied as a child, I need you to know that you are wonderful, you are amazing, and you have inside of you wonderful strengths, wonderful gifts, wonderful talents, natural abilities inside of you to help you to become that person you desire to be in life. There are people that their parents gave birth to, and after some months, their parents passed away. And they turned out to be amazing individuals. They turned out to be well groomed. They turned out to impact the society and do a lot of life transforming things. So you don't say because you lacked parental love and guidance, that is why you're having behavioral disorder. I know it can affect, but you can decide to tell yourself that in as much as I lacked this as a child, I can still become a better person. In as much as my parents were not there for me as a child, I can still turn out fine. I always share my story. If you go to my Facebook, my profile, I shared a little info about myself. I lost my mom when I was 14 years old. Now I'm well into my 30s. And how was I able to navigate life and become who I am today without having my mom right beside me? It's all about decision. I told myself, in as much as I don't have a mother, my mom has passed away, it's not her fault. If she was to decide, if she was given the opportunity to decide, she wouldn't want to leave. She would want to stay right here with me because she was my best friend. But she's no more. I told myself, I need to make her proud. I need to be a better person. I need to be a better version. All the things she wasn't able to achieve in life, I need to achieve them. And today, I am living that dream. I am that person I desire to be as a child. So no matter what, no matter the love you feel you lost, I need you to know you already have everything to turn out better and become a better person. So make use of the resources available to you. Make use of the books, the materials, the resources, platforms like Institute of Global Professionals and other international platforms. Harness the resources and work on being a better person. There comes a time in your life as an adult where you don't need to talk about the things your parents did not do for you. You need to forget about the things they did not do for you, the things they were not able to provide for you, and think about the things you can do for yourself because you are an adult and you have all it takes to become whoever you want to be in life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, our next question is from Queenie. Good evening, ma'am. How do we show rationality in our decision and actions?
Okay, one of the ways to show rationality in our decisions and actions is to remove emotions. Remove emotions and sentiments. That is how you make the best of decisions. You don't make a decision based on emotion. Once you make decisions based on emotions, just know it won't be rational. Because rationality is logic. Logic and emotions are like two parallel lines that can never meet. They are two different walls. So for you to show rationality in our decisions, make sure your decision is void of emotions and sentiments. Once you're sentimental, once your emotion takes a better part of you, you can't make a rational decision. Personally, what I do is if I want to look at a situation, if I want to look at an issue, I try to remove myself. I view it through the lens of another person. I remove myself from the situation. That is one of the ways I view things holistically. And this helps you to be objective as well. So remove yourself, remove your emotion, and you know, go for valid reasons before you take a decision. It will help you greatly.
Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you.
Honorable Ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, ma'am. IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the webinar certification, the most and attractive and powerful part in our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear participant, today our topic is life skill education and impact on children, and the code is IGP 7103. And the code is IGP 7103. Without code, no one is eligible for certificate. With code, you can claim your certificate anytime. Now, how to claim any certificate? First, you have to go www.eduigp.com, click sign in or log in if you already have an account, or create a new account if you are new. Once log in, click free webinars. Select the webinar title and click continue course or get enrolled if you haven't enrolled yet. Type the code in your certificate code box. Click get your certificate. It is auto downloaded in PDF file already. Just check it in your file manager or download folder. Don't forget to leave a review in our Facebook page, website, and in Google. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of our webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activities. Now, time to the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Go to www.slido.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR code for direct joining. Code is IGP3. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. After a short video, we will start our quiz competition. To join our quiz competition, you have to go www.slido.com. Please join in Slido with code, and the code is IGP3. Please join in Slido with code, and the code is IGP3. Please join Slido with the code, and the code is IGP3. Please join in Slido with the code, and the code is IGP3. Already 43 people joined with us. We will start our quiz competition after 1 minute. So please join Slido with the code, and the code is IGP3. Please join Slido with the code, and the code is IGP3. To join our quiz competition, you have to go www.slido.com and the code is IGP3. The code is IGP3. We will pick your name from Slido. So join with your full name, which will directly print on certificate. Top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificate. Okay, let's start our quiz competition with 46 people. Our first question is, children and adults feel the same impact of trauma. The right answer is option 2, false. The leaderboard, Danish is holding the first position. Our second question is, education can, in option 1, improve the lives, disadvantage and vulnerable children and the families. Option 2, include physical trauma, biological diseases and chemical hazards. Option 1, improve the life, disadvantage and vulnerable children and the families. Right answer, and 95% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our third question is, which of the stage of the family life cycle refers to a newly married couple without children? Option 1, stage 1. Option 2, stage 3. Option 1, stage 1 is the right answer and 80% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Danish is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, individual impact of microaggressions. Option 1, forced compliance, criticism, hyperviolence. Option 2, creates a hostile and invalid work, school or campus climate. Option 1, forced compliance, escapism and hyperviolence. Right answer, and 28% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Joel is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, environmental impact of microaggressions. Option 1, forced compliance, escapism, hyperviolence. Option 2, creates a hostile and individual work, school or campus climate. Option 2, creates a hostile and individualing work, school or campus climate is the right answer, and 36% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Joel is holding the first position. Our sixth question is, families and family life expenses. Option 1, cultural diversity. Option 1, culture. Option 1, cultural diversity is the right answer, and 78% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Joel is holding the first position after completing our sixth question. Now, our seventh question is, the average amount of children in families has. Option 1, decreased. Option 2, shown no defined pattern. Option 1, decreased is the right answer, and 24% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Joel is holding the first position. Our eighth question is, Select one positive impact of mass tourism. Option 1, tourism jobs are often seasonal. Option 2, employment opportunities allow locals to learn new skills. Option 2, employment opportunities allow locals to learn new skills is the right answer, and 78% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jewel is holding the first position. Our ninth question is, some children develop a second language from birth. Option 1, simultaneous language acquisition. Option 2, sequential bilinguals, second language learners. Option 1, simultaneous language acquisition is the right answer, and 38% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jewel is holding the first position. Our final and last question of this session. Some children develop a second language later. Option 1, sequential bilinguals. Option 2, English as an additional language. Option 1, sequential bilinguals, second language learners. The right answer, and 64% people are right here. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the later result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skills, never stop learning because life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end live button, again once to all IGP knowledge seeker for your active participation as always. See you in the next session. Thank you.